Spooky Tuesday.
I wouldn't worry about this doll thing. Will used to be obsessed with this blanket.
Run, Mental, run! Stop it, Will!
Obsessed. But then one day I realized that it was quite literally a security blanket. And I think this doll could be the same thing.
Come on, Mental!
You shouldn't worry about it, is what I'm saying. Kids do all sorts of weird things. They go through phases. And then poof, it's gone.
Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Tuesday, a weekly podcast where we're breaking down all of our favorite slashers, thrillers, monster movies, and black comedies on the new scariest day of the week. I'm Sydney Thompson.
I'm Monica Height.
And I'm Chelsea Duff.
And this week, the band's back together.
The band's back together.
We're getting the gang back together.
I could reach out and touch Monica. I can reach out and touch Sydney.
Touch me.
Oh, you hit me in the head, though.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I was
Do you
kind
see
of
your
like
matching
gyrating
beanies?
around. Oh,
Also,
yeah.
We've got matching beanies on.
We're all
Sorry,
little
I've been
spooky
instructed
bitches.
to speak up. We've got matching beanies on.
Oh, my God. Okay. Chill out.
Whoa.
Shout out to my friend Sarah for buying for my birthday present 3 matching spooky bitch beanies for the podcast.
She knows.
I love to get present for
we are
Monica's
just
birthday.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
we are
actually one entity.
Yeah, you're welcome doubly for being born.
But
But yeah,
you want to know what we're doing today?
I forgot, so
Wow, how could you forget this? How could you
How
forget?
could you forget this?
I blocked it out of my mind.
Literally watched it earlier today. I already said, don't need this.
no,
not,
thank you.
Not storing it away.
Do any of our OG spookies remember the critically acclaimed from this podcast movie, The Boy?
No. No,
I
I do
remember.
not.
I remember.
I certainly remember.
We are now doing Brahms, The Boy 2, and it is Mommy Issues May.
Mommy
Mommy
issues,
issues,
May.
This worked for it, I think.
Yeah, no, I think.
I think
Yeah.
so.
He was having mommy issues. Mommy was
Having
definitely
some
having
mommy issues.
All definitions were being
Yeah.
And here's
fully
the thing.
executed.
It's our theme, so we can make it fit however we want.
Yeah,
And we
Just as
decided
a
in advance
reminder-
before seeing this movie, we were certain it would fit.
Yeah, no, just as a reminder, this is our podcast and we can do whatever we want.
We're
and we can
actually
change
in
our mind all
charge here.
the time. But yeah.
And have you guys changed your mind about The Boy? Because
No.
that had been a point of contention between us in the past.
No.
And,
No.
I
I rewatched The Boy
Yep.
with Sydney and Taylor earlier this week, and we all said Chelsea's an idiot. She liked
That's
that.
so rude. Why would
We
you
were-
say that?
I
Not nice.
specifically told Taylor not to come for your life first thing when he met you today because we were up in arms. But
Is
now,
that an instruction you needed? Looking off camera. Is that an instruction you needed?
oh yeah. By the way, we have our first live studio audience. So if I seem nervous, it's because there's a man in this room.
There's someone
man.
watching us, not just a perceived imaginary audience somewhere out there in the world.
Yeah.
Not you, the audience.
It's a lot.
We
There's a
can
lot
look at
happening. A
him.
lot of firsts here. I'm wearing a beanie. I'm overheating already. I'm feeling
I
feeling
know.
very
This,
warm.
We're stripping off at some point.
Oh yeah. Also, I had to be audio engineerica again, and it was incredibly stressful. And Sydney kept singing fucking Bruno Mars while I was doing it, and
Women in STEM,
I almost
Monica.
punched her.
But I was a big help, right, Monica?
Yeah, no, of course. They do this thing where they talk really loud about stupid fucking shit while I'm the most stressed I've ever been in my entire life. And I'm sitting there like, Monica, don't become dark Monica. Don't become Mark. Mark is dark
Oh, yeah,
Monica.
Mark.
Yeah. Anyway, we watched the movie, didn't we, though?
We did.
We watched a movie earlier today, and it was interesting. I have things to say about it.
Okay, but if you have not seen the sequel to The Boy, which is Brahms' The Boy 2,
What a name.
Too.
IMDb says, after a family moves into the Heelshire mansion, their young son soon makes friends with a lifelike doll called Brahms.
The Boy 2.
The Boy 2.
In my
It's his
mind,
legal
his
government
name
name.
was Brahms
No,
the Boy 2.
Brahms the Boy
legally
too.
speaking,
He-
I agree.
His name is,
His
yeah.
government name.
It's not Brahms Heelshire
No,
or whatever the
that's
fuck.
a different person than the doll.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But also
Oh.
wild.
Right,
They
I
have
know,
the
right? I
same
was like,
name.
interesting. Okay.
Wild that the doll's name and the boy's name are both the same.
Right.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing. Going into this movie, this is what I knew it was going to happen. Like, they did set you up for a sequel at the end
They did.
of The Boy, for sure, 100%. We're going to be spoiling The Boy, by the way, in this movie.
So make sure you
Well,
watch
this
it.
is the
movie
sequel.
podcast.
I think that's fair, and I think you guys should have expected that coming into this
And if
episode.
you haven't seen The Boy, you fucking need to see it.
You need to see The Boy, and you need to re-listen to our episode on The Boy.
But I knew they had to do some fuck shit because, like, this movie has horrible reviews. I like it's like I don't know, like a 2 on I don't know. I didn't look it up beforehand.
I
That's
looked it up.
Chelsea's
Yeah,
job.
I'll tell you later.
But I have Googled the movie before and it's on the stinkometer or whatever. But like, so you know it's going to be bad. So you know they're not going to do justice to the incredible art film that
Well,
is The Boy.
The Boy.
To be fair, The Boy also has stinker reviews.
Wrong.
Okay,
So-
well, that's
Those people
because
are
people have
wrong.
no taste. But anyway, I didn't even get to my point yet. I'm so long-winded. My point is that I knew there was going to be some fucking retcon bullshit in this movie, and I was wondering what it was going to be. And my theory was like, this is going to be a secret prequel or something like that. But then I was like, they have like iPads and iPhones, and honestly, very important point that everyone wants to hear. One of the most realistic looking FaceTimes on a phone in a movie, because you know how
Oh, because she like drags it down.
yeah, they always have like the worst fucking looking like whatever the screen is
Yeah.
whenever they have a horror movie that has that. It's like that music video, was it Destiny's Child, where
Yes.
it's like
An Excel
Excel
spreadsheet. Yeah.
spreadsheet. It's like that level usually. But
Mhm.
that they did nail. But I was like, okay, the tech is too high tech. This
You're
can't
like,
be
this isn't a
prequel.
prequel.
I mean, you never know. Sometimes they trick you because, like, did we know what year The Boy was set in? Maybe Lauren Cohen. She was going off the grid. You know, maybe she left her
I'm sorry.
Apple iPhone 22 at home.
I just watched The Boy.
We just watched
We
it,
just
Chelsea.
watched
You
it.
did
And they say,
rewatch.
they look in
No.
the camera and they say, it's the year 2015.
No. I know things about stuff, and I looked at her coral going out dress,
Yeah.
and I was like, "That's the
Trends
most
are circular,
2014
Monica.
shit."
It's gonna come back around.
You really are taking it to heart.
And her
Screaming
little-
into the
her
microphone
little-
thing.
Haven't you
ankle
seen?
booties.
Okay,
Gosh.
haven't you guys seen all of the discourse about the clothing at Urban Outfitters these days and how it's
Yes.
not just referencing trends from the early aughts, but
It's
directly
copying.
recycling them,
Yes.
like not adding anything new? That's what's happening in The Boy. Is they just brought those clothes out of the landfill and
No,
then they just
unfortunately,
put them
The
back.
Boy
It's
is
actually
a trendsetter.
sustainable future.
The Boy is a
where
trendsetter.
they
They would
go-
never recycle the trend. They are the trend.
But you
Anyway,
think Lauren
so
Cohen's character?
It was just, it's very clear that it wasn't a prequel. I'm just ignoring. That is the most fucking 2014 dress I ever
It
seen
is.
in my life.
I owned that dress. Yeah, you can find it in my Facebook profile pictures.
Coral, yeah. I hope Coral doesn't come back around in the same way that it.
Or Chevron.
Oh my god, chevron and then like a teal statement
Yes.
necklace. I hope
Oh.
that.
I
doesn't
want
come back.
A teal
turquoise
chevron.
and brown to be the new popular color combo again.
No.
That was so middle school.
I know, and I'm ready.
Lime green and brown.
Am I gonna do it? No, but I want other people to be doing it.
Lime
I'd
green
do
and brown,
pink
baby.
And brown. I'm ready. Bring out.
I'm
the
not
fucking,
excited
like,
about
Paul
that.
Frank
Oh
shit.
no.
I'm not enthusiastic about that
You
idea.
should just
You
wear
can do that
brown.
alone.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, this movie. I mean, at least for me. I mean, spoiler for the whole the podcast. I feel like this is gonna be like my new angry episode. We haven't had
one of
it.
those
It's
in a
important
while.
to occasionally have an angry episode. I think that's
No, and it's important.
It's good. It's healthy. It's good for your stress relief. You were so stressed setting up a minute ago.
Yeah.
You need
I'm
an
still
outlet.
stressed.
That
You need
isn't
an
us.
outlet.
Rage eternal.
Give it to them. Don't put it over
Don't
here.
put it
Don't
on
put it over
us.
here.
Oh
Put it
wait,
over
oh wait,
there.
oh wait, oh wait. Hold on. Early plug for YouTube. We look really cute. We're all wearing matching hats. I already said that. I am holding a prop. But
We love
also,
props.
we have a new prop that will be in all of my video screens moving forward. But my dear friend Craig,
Shout out Craig.
listener and bestie Craig, he made a what is like? He's a rug maker.
It's a rug.
I was gonna say looming. That has nothing to do with it.
Fabric
He used
arts.
all of
We
the
love to
tools.
loom.
Craig, you need to come on here and you need to say how
Craig,
you did
please
this.
describe
But
the process.
No, I remember what it is.
Oh.
Tufting. Ha ha! There.
Wow.
There is
Oh my
a word.
god.
And it's not
Monica's
looming.
so smart.
Thank you so much. He tufted this beautiful Spooky Tuesday logo rug for us, and it'll be up on the wall in perpetuity, but we wanted to really debut it today, and it just looks lovely with Chelsea's pink hair.
Oh my
Don't
god.
you think?
Stop.
The curtain matches the drapes.
Do you like that? I don't know
Yeah,
how I feel
Monica.
about it.
Anyway, so we're moving on to the movie.
I don't think I like that one.
Too bad.
Not when
So-
it's my curtain right here.
Isn't it so crazy that Katie Holmes is in this movie?
She got nominated for a Razzie.
She should have.
Oh.
She should have.
You know, I don't know if I've like ever seen a Katie Holmes movie.
You haven't seen the Batman movie she was in?
Did you ever watch Dawson's Creek?
No, I did not watch Dawson's
Oh, I
Creek.
love Dawson's Creek, but she was young.
Which one was she in? Which Batman was she in?
The first.
Batman Begins, I guess,
Yeah,
maybe
the
then.
first Batman.
Okay, I have seen that, but that was
Yeah.
a really long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't remember her being in it. So I'm sorry to you, Katie Holmes. Actually, that's not true. I'm so sorry. I'm an idiot. I watched a Katie Holmes movie just 2 weeks ago. No, well, bitch, it was Ocean's 8. She's in Ocean's 8.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, we all
I
did.
was just about to make a joke that she was in Ocean's 8, but I thought it was a joke, but it turns out it's the truth.
Turns out it's-
No,
It
yeah.
turns out it's the truth.
She literally is in
She's at
Ocean's
the
8.
table.
She's
Yeah.
not acting, though, because she's being herself.
She's just playing herself.
Well, she was being very
You
fake
never
upset
saw-
about Daphne Kruger's vomiting spell. So
True.
Oh, you didn't see Adam Sandler's masterpiece, Jack and Jill?
no.
That's so out of character for you.
I haven't seen Happy Gilmore either. Yeah.
What?
So
That's,
I
no,
know.
that's actually legit fucked
That's
up.
a crime.
Is that why it was on
I haven't
TV
seen-
earlier
Yeah.
downstairs?
let's get it out of the way. I haven't seen Groundhog's Day. I haven't seen Pulp Fiction.
Monica.
I haven't seen The Godfather.
I haven't seen The Godfather. I'm saving that for marriage along with Star Wars. I need.
Studio audience, what's another movie that men think is really cool from the 90s?
Yeah. Or 70s.
Okay, well, you can interject later
Yeah,
on.
interject when you
Name
think of
it.
something.
Probably haven't seen it, but I have seen Heat. So
Ooh.
anyway,
Slay.
Katie Holmes. This movie. God, I mean, it's just really hard to watch right after The Boy because just like from moment one, it's less cool. It's not in a cool, spooky house to start. It's in a normal house. Are they in England?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in
Yeah,
England.
yeah.
They're still in England at least. Thank God.
Yeah, what if
They're-
they weren't?
They're the hot husband. There's good. There's Katie Holmes. She's hot. There's Sydney having the fight of her life.
I'm just gonna record like this.
There we
Piece
go.
of shit.
There you go. Here,
There's
let me
okay, that's what it is. The child in this movie
He's
is
creepy.
the most like perfect casting spooky boy. Like he was born spooky. And I love that about him.
Yes.
He's gonna grow up to probably be handsome, you know what I mean? But like right now, as a child, or right then, when did this come out?
2018?
Was it 2018, 2019?
He's a teen now.
Yeah.
He was
Could it
a
have been so
spooky
long
looking
ago?
preteen. Okay, you wanna know what my theory was? This is
What?
what my theory was. My theory was
2020.
We were
yeah,
all
that
off.
he was gonna
2016, 2020.
that he was gonna be the boy from the beginning one, and I thought he looked just like the boy in the painting. And then I thought that, like, maybe Katie Holmes and the other guy were gonna die, and like he had been adopted by the
Oh, by the
older
Heelshires?
by the Heelshires because they
Oh,
looked
this was a prequel?
older. They looked older forever. So I thought, yeah. In my mind, I thought it was gonna be a prequel.
Monica's like, this is 100% a prequel.
I was for sure thought it was gonna be a prequel. I was like, there's no way it's not a prequel. And so I was trying to figure out how it's gonna be a prequel.
How is this
wrong.
prequel?
Well,
wrong.
honestly, when we started it, I did choose not to rewatch. I was busy also, but I did choose not to rewatch The Boy with you guys,
Yep, you
or at
did.
all. It was
did.
there are parts that I find interesting about that movie, but it's such a waste of time to get to those parts. It's so long.
It's not
I
true.
understand it's necessary for the payoff, but like snooze.
Wrong. Again.
Wrong. I was riveted. We were riveted.
Riveted. We had a good
Riveted.
time.
But I couldn't remember if we ever actually saw Brahms's face, and so I was like, maybe the dad is Brahms, and he's snuck out, and it is a true sequel, and
The
like
dad
blah, blah, blah.
did look like Brahms too. I think they did a good job. I think they probably did that on purpose to make them look sort of spooky like that,
To be
or
like,
they're all
question?
just British
Or
yeah,
yeah,
that is true.
and
brunette.
they're British traits.
But we do
Males.
see Brahms has like a burnt face.
Yeah, you guys were like, no, we see his face is burned.
Yeah.
Like,
Unfortunately,
okay.
we didn't see how much chest hair the dad in this movie has because Brahms has a lot
Luscious.
of chest
A
hair.
lot of
which is
sexy
great.
chest hair.
A lot of sexy chest hair.
Yeah, that's another big issue I have with this movie. Not enough
chest hair.
I bet Ralph Ineson has some good stuff under there. He just
But we
keeps
wanna
it
see
covered.
it.
We've seen it in The Witch.
Let's get Brahms the Boy 3 a little bit sluttier than Brahms the Boy 2.
3 chest hair.
Chest hair edition.
They better not make another one of these movies. I swear to God, I would have wanted 4,000 more of them like 2 days ago. But now I've seen the second one, and I'm like, let the series die. With
Should
this
we
one.
write a prequel?
No.
Well,
I
okay,
can't. I'm
here's the
traumatized. I
thing.
can't go back there.
Here's the thing. I think we're at the point where we can really start to speak more specifically about this movie and why we're mad at it, or why you're mad at it. I haven't decided if I'm mad yet because I was laughing a lot.
Well, it was
Chelsea
funny.
likes this one more than the first one.
Well, I didn't have enough Brahms in it, which was the highlight of the first one for me. You know what I mean? But what's interesting to me is that it is the same writer-director team as the first one. So the same writer, Stacey Menier, and same director, William Brent Bell. So it's the same team, which is why it's so interesting that they do essentially retcon the lore of the first movie. And I wonder if that was something that they had like thought about ahead of time, if they were ever going to do a sequel, or if it was like a response to the criticism of the first movie. Because like, okay, my beef, sorry, big spoilers for movie 1 and 2, I guess.
We're into spoiler territory now.
We're into spoiler territory now. The first one, obviously, it's marketed as a haunted doll movie, and then the reveal is like the doll was never
The doll is a real
spiritually
man.
haunted
But that's
at all.
exciting.
Right, that is exciting, but it is kind of a bait and switch for the people who went to the movie theater because
haunted
they're
doll.
interested in
For
haunted
those
doll
big
movies.
doll fans out there, I
well,
mean, they exist.
They do.
Big haunted doll.
We did Doll Month. You know
It
what I
was
mean?
still
There are
Doll
people
Month.
who
It
are
still works for Doll
interested.
Month.
Yeah, there was a doll.
And that's the problem is like sometimes you just don't really know, is the doll actually haunted? Is the doll not haunted? What's the deal? That was the subject of conversation for pretty much all of Doll Month.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
And so I suspect that they just got a lot of criticism of people who wanted to see a haunted doll movie, went to the theater for a haunted doll
Watch
movie,
Annabelle.
and then didn't
And the
get
prequel.
that, got something different.
Annabelle
And so they
creation.
were like, we can do it both. We can give you both.
What you
Just
want.
wait. You can have it all. And it's like,
Or you can have
well,
none of it. Because for me, the part that I love the most about the first one is that it turned it on its head. I didn't see that twist coming at all because I think they did a really good job of hiding it from you. And it was fucking crazy. And like that, him like crawling out of the fucking wall. Oh my God. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. And then this took it and was like, fuck you, you dumb idiot. Why'd you like that?
Why'd you like
We're
that?
going to make it really stupid. And there's going to be a butthole mouth involved, but we're not there
We're
yet.
not there yet. But also, too, with the first one, like, okay, haunted dolls are creepy to begin with, but
Yeah.
what's creepier than a haunted doll? A creepy man living
a
in the
scary
walls.
man
Yes.
who's
A creepy sexy
watching
man.
you care for a tiny little porcelain doll, pretending that it's him. That's his surrogate for you caring for him, because you'll never do it if you know who he really is. Yeah, so he has to trick you into it, which is psychologically horrifying,
It
especially
is.
to be confronted with that
Brahms is the
reality
OG
as he
incel.
smashes through a wall.
And they also got rid of a lot of the scary stuff that, like, at least the three of us, not including you, sorry, I didn't
Not
have
Chelsea.
you, not Chelsea.
Us in our live studio
us
audience.
and our live studio audience were discussing as like what we thought was going on throughout the years of Brahms' life, because I was like, why did the Heelshire parents kill themselves? Besides the fact they have to care for this boy, but if he killed one kid like 20 years ago, like, and they're killing themselves now, like, you know what I mean? Like, they cover that out so many years ago. It didn't really make sense to me. I thought that they were like feeding him nannies for years and years.
We're feeding the doll
And
nannies.
he was killing the nannies for years and years, and like there was enough like ambiguity that was a thing. But then in this movie, it kind of made it seem like that's not a real thing either.
Yeah.
Like they retconned that possibility out of it, and so I was like, that's taking like layers upon layers of the horror from before out of it. Like the spooky ending that was like, oh, he's still alive and he's putting Brahms back together. They're like, JK, that wasn't Brahms. that wasn't him. It's another guy.
Yeah, it's another man.
There's a whole other guy you have to care about now. Ugh.
I didn't even know who he was at the end of the first one.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's so true. Do have a question though, because again, this movie did go. Actually, the doll is haunted, and that was what was going on in the first one. It's not that Brahms is crazy; it's that the doll makes people crazy. Blah blah blah. Would you have liked that retcon more if the doll was at least behaving consistently between this movie and The Boy? Because in The Boy, the doll's not doing anything, but you can still, through the lens of Brahms the Boy too, imagine that the doll is speaking to Big Brahms and like giving him instruction and has some sort of psychic link with him over the years, which is kind of how we see it works a little bit with Jude in this one. Yeah, but in this one, it's like, oh, is Brahms' eye glowing? And Brahms is turning his head, and Brahms has made a scarf appear around him to be cozy.
Brahms is changing himself into little outfits.
He's chilly.
Yeah, okay, there are, like, that reminds me, there are some things I did like about this movie, like the little outfits. You know I love a little outfit.
I love a little, he's
But
a little lad.
I just don't like that they made, like, okay, haunted doll, but then it's not a haunted doll. There's a fucking weird, nasty corpse in there. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's not even, it's like a zombie doll.
Which wasn't in there in the first one. Yeah,
exactly. That's another thing, like, it's so hard. Why am I holding the boy to a standard that is different? that is different.
We have the boy on a pedestal.
I have the boy on the pedestal. I was like, this is high art, okay. But like then I watched the Fast and Furious movies and they're like, Han's not dead. Everything's fine. That thing that you saw didn't happen and everyone comes back to life and it's fine with me. But like this really pissed me off.
I did look for some reviews, and there was one from The Wrap where somebody wrote, "It's hard to believe that several millennia after the invention of the written word, there are still some sentences that have never been put in print. Case in point, Brahms, the Boy 2, is the Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker of horror," which is very like, somehow Palpatine returned. You know what I mean? Where they're just like, don't worry about it. You don't need an explanation. It doesn't need to make sense. We're just gonna let you know what the deal is, and you can roll with it from there.
I don't
that
get
one's
that
on
reference.
you. It's okay, Queen. You don't need to.
It's okay.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hate that they did something different. You know me. I always like fresh new ideas in horror. We already have Annabelle. We already have a haunted doll, even though that's like a religious haunted doll or whatever.
But do we need just one?
No, I know, but I liked that they did something completely unique and different, and I totally didn't see it coming, and I thought they pulled it off. I understand that you didn't, and that's totally fine. But I was just like, now you're just making it like every other doll movie. You know what I mean? And not even a good one. Not even a good one. Not even a good one.
Not at all.
But honestly, the most angry I was at myself while watching the movie is that I looked at what I don't have IMDb because I don't have my computer. What is the name of the groundskeeper? Joseph. Yeah, Joseph. I looked at Joseph. I recognized his face. Chelsea remembered that is the dad from The Witch, Ralph Ineson.
Yeah, or I don't know. Could be Ineson.
Yeah. And he is like an actor that's been in a billion million things. And I was like, brain, I need you to work a little harder. Why did I not assume that he would not become crucially important to the plot? Why would he be in Brahms the Boy 2 if he is not the star of Brahms the Boy 2? You know what I mean?
Okay, but
the most anticipated sequel, Brahms the Boy 2.
The highly anticipated sequel of 2020. But I will say, the movie started off with a home invasion at their London home, and Katie Holmes got whacked in the fucking head. And there was a moment where we were like, Katie Holmes could be gone for the rest of this movie.
I thought
it could be a celebrity cold open.
I thought it was going to be like a Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. But this is where we get our mommy issues.
Yes, that is the source of the mommy issues for Mommy Issues May.
Issue. She is traumatized, but she is focusing all of her energy on the trauma of her child instead of her own trauma. And it's just like when you're on an airplane and it's going down, you got to put your mask on first before you help others. But she's not doing it. She's never been on a plane.
I think she has. She's American.
She had to get over there somehow.
It could be like in The Parent Trap where opposite style, she took the boat back to England. You know what I mean?
She cruised.
There you go. Yeah. It's clear she's never been on a plane.
Obvious.
She's giving off that
It's
vibe.
actually really evident in the text.
Yeah, no. If you watch it closely, there's a lot of signs. We'll get into it in a bonus episode. But yeah, I mean, I was wondering if this would annoy you because they tried to when they try to make like a horror movie like about trauma and playing with things that are more serious. Like sometimes they do like a really bad job because they try to make you think that Katie Holmes, she doesn't have another name. Sorry, her name's Katie Holmes.
I could not tell you what her name is.
Liza or Lisa, perhaps?
I couldn't tell you what her name is.
Katie
in this
Holmes.
movie. It's Katie Holmes.
They tried to like make her like an unreliable narrator because Liza, aka Katie Holmes,
she has hypertension
trauma.
now, so her vision gets a little fuzzy around the edges sometimes.
When she's stressed,
They really were trying to do some like cinematography in this movie too, which like I don't know if it was bad. It's just like the movie is bad, and so like it felt
bad.
So cheesy whenever they tried to do it. But like yeah, they did that whole thing where they try to make her an unreliable character, unreliable narrator because of her trauma with a capital T, which is like annoying sometimes unless they do it well. And I don't think they could have done it well, but like
I don't think they did it really well.
Yeah,
I guess they did it a little with Greta in the first one.
Greta did good.
They did a good job with Greta in the first one because she had like good reason to be paranoid that someone was gonna come after her.
Yeah,
and
I had forgotten about
she was
that.
Right.
I had forgotten about that whole aspect
I know.
of the abusive ex-husband or partner. That was super scary, and we'll give credit where credit is due. Taylor was like, that man is gonna come to the house, and Brahms is gonna kill him.
And he did.
Oh my god, good guess.
But little did he
he
know,
did.
Brahms was a man.
Brahms was a man and not a boy.
Or he wasn't. I don't know, but we're not.
They're one.
We
in
can't
the
talk about it in the
same
context of what new
question mark?
information that we have now. But yeah, I think that it was supposed to make you care about the family more, and it was really sad to see like their little nuclear family like falling apart. But
Well, I think also we talked about this while we were watching. It was doing a lot of heavy lifting as a narrative device, almost more than it was like for the psychological experience of the characters. Like it was less about their feelings and more just like plot
Moving the plot
reasoning.
forward.
Yeah, for why they wouldn't
to get them to
get rid of the
leave.
doll or leave the house or why they're there in the first place.
That's true. It was clever in that way, like because like it gets them. They're literally like she needs to take in the sea air. She's having a hard time, but it's like she needs to take in the forest air. Let's go to a country house to.
We need to get out of the city where the crime
happened.
And honestly, like getting out of it literally is their house is the scene of the crime. So
Yeah,
that
and, like,
that could be a good idea.
Absolutely imagine how
Triggering
violating
that
it
would be.
feels to be the victim of a crime in your own home. That's like your safe place.
Listen,
It's no
as
longer
somebody
safe.
who
yeah.
had a man break into her home last year, I know.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that's not a safe place anymore. And like one of the big parts of the movie is Katie Holmes is having these night terrors where she's screaming at night. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily stop once she gets to the new place. But hey, it's a fair idea to try
They're
it.
trying.
They're trying. But yeah, I did like that aspect of it because one of the things that happens to young Jude. Thank you. Could never remember. That's a good name, honestly. Young Jude is he gets like selective mutism from
Yeah, he
his
stops
trauma.
talking.
He stops talking.
Could never be us.
And then
You don't know. Could be you.
Could
Could
not
be
be me.
anyone.
Could
I
not-
hope that it's never you. Then something really bad would have to happen for us to stop yapping.
Right?
And I don't want to imagine what that might be. But yeah, I did love once they got there, the Brahms like reveal that like it's just his little baby hands.
His hands sticking out of the ground.
Sticking out of the spooky dirt.
But that's also when we get like our first like something like different from the original movie is we hear little like whispers where it's like Jude, come find us. Like come blah,
I forgot
blah,
about
blah.
that.
And then he just stumbles upon a doll. Like, girl, use your common sense.
It's hard too because this movie's like tonally a lot different than the first one too, just because they're doing the magic thing the whole time. Like the doll is fucking like moving its head left and right. You're hearing spooky
The
whisper
eyes are
voices.
moving.
Like
the head's not moving.
It's
the
conjuring
eyes are...
Hermes scarf.
the head moves too. Head moves too.
Where's
Brahms
my
said,
Hermes shawl?
I'm chilly.
My wrap.
There's a brisk breeze.
I don't know. I was like, what is happening? Like,
Okay,
this
but-
is not what happened before. It doesn't have to be the same movie, but like they really made it different.
But I love with Brahms at one point, like once they get him and he just brings the doll. At one point, he's like, take me back to where you found me," and he wanted all his little outfits that were out buried.
I need
with
to
the
go
thing.
get my
truck.
looks.
okay,
I can't stunt without them.
I respect that.
Brahms, the boy too, is a little fashion icon,
fashionista.
stunt queen. Okay, so we have to give him that. He does slay all day.
Even Jude recognizes it and starts dressing like him.
He is a
yes.
he's a tried and true prep. I love that about
Yeah.
him. Like classic in the
He's
most
a little
classic
lad.
sense. He's a little lad. He's like, I'm a little rich British boy, and I'm gonna make sure you
Posh
fucking
schoolboy.
don't
Yeah.
forget it. Yeah.
I'm a posh Victorian school child.
Yeah, that actually, like, fair point. Like, it was a huge plot hole, I would say, in the movie that all of a sudden,
Jude
because
has the
basically
same fits.
what happens, Jude, like, becomes under Brahms' influence, and he starts slaying.
And
the
nobody's
Boots
like,
house down.
hey,
just the
girl,
exact same
where'd
way.
that suit come from?
Where'd you get
Nobody's
that
like, why are you
shirt?
wearing a suit that matches
Everybody's
your
just
creepy
like,
doll?
you're fancy today. That's cute.
Maybe he brought some formal wear, and it just happens to be exactly the
exact
same.
same.
What if I need to go to a bar mitzvah while I'm in the country?
Well, but here's the thing. We also learned later in the movie that, like, Brahms knew that your child would be coming, so maybe he, like, stocked the house with matching outfits.
It's
He
like a
said,
this is a
"Don't worry, I
night swim
planned ahead."
scenario.
I planned ahead.
Giving night
I knew
swim.
I would need looks. I knew you would
would
need
need
looks.
looks. How else are we gonna bond?
Yeah, I need us to be not just psychically linked. I need us to be visually similar.
Visually.
That was the best part.
That
Whenever
was,
they
it
match,
was really fun.
you know I love to match. I can't reach you, but pretend I am. We love to match. I loved that part of it. That's the only part. That's the only part that I loved. I did also love that the dad was hot and he looked like my favorite musician, James Blake,
He
but
also
with a beard.
looks like Girthmaster, the porn star, a little bit.
Oh, okay. When
Yeah.
you said that earlier, I misheard you, but I do know who that is.
Yeah.
I see it.
Can't you see it?
I
My
see it.
friend Ashley, Offbeat Orbit, Bad Brain on Substack, recently interviewed him. If you're looking
Oh,
to
I
learn
saw
more.
that.
Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out.
Shouts to Ashley.
And Girthmaster.
Girthmaster, come on the pod. I don't know if I could talk to him. It'd be too nerve wracking. I'm just like
Holding her
gripping
doll.
Samantha.
Holding
even
her
tighter.
Alex would be like, I'm on this podcast this episode. Goodbye.
This is just a round table now. I will say, okay, the tonal differences between Brahms the Boy 2 and the Boy 1 with like the whispering and the influence, like I can totally get on board with this lore all matching up, and I can like reason myself into a place where it's like, well, Brahms was fully under his influence, had been under his influence for like 30 years. So he didn't need to be like moving. He didn't need to influence Greta. You know what I mean? Like Greta
Yeah.
was there for big Brahms, not for little Brahms. Little Brahms already had his guy.
It seems like he likes boys.
Yeah, he needs.
That's Brahms the Boy 2 is gay. We got there. I love it now. I love the movie now.
But like,
Brahms, the Boy 2, gay icon.
Look at my audio. Oh, no. Sorry for your ears.
Sorry,
That's
sorry.
for Pride Month, actually.
man. No, I like it for Mommy Issues, May.
I
Still.
love it's perfect for mommy issues, May. we
Um,
can't burn the pride
I'm
slots
not
are our
for
most
Brahms
important.
the Boy too. But like, I think you can be like, oh, he needs to be whispering, doing his little shit in this one because he's putting a new little child under his sway. You know what I mean? Like his
Yeah.
powers are manifesting differently because he has a different goal at
Katie
this point
Holmes
in
also
time.
hears it too.
Yeah, and she does like look at him suspiciously at one point when he's like turned
She
his head.
immediately knows bad vibes.
She's
Well,
like,
it was
something
like-
is wrong with that little doll.
I feel like they kind of alluded to like if you've had trauma, you can hear the whispers.
If you're broken,
If-
Brahms can influence you.
Sorry
Mm.
to bring up the wizard books, but it was like I can see the thestral, like they can because
The
they
wizard book.
have been attacked by.
I have seen death.
Yeah, they had really a very traumatic experience.
They did.
But yeah, I mean, you brought this up for a second, but I don't think we like nailed it home. Like I did love that, like basically once he gets Brahms, like little Jude starts talking to the doll.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, otherwise you'd be like, these are the worst parents of all time. They found a nasty doll that literally has centipedes.
So tenderly,
yeah, but
though.
a centipede comes out of its ear later. And sometimes those are venomous or not venomous. I don't know. Poisonous.
Yucky.
No, venomous. It's venomous. Venomous is if they bite you. Poisonous is if you eat it.
Oh.
It's true.
Look at Monica and her big brain.
Wow.
I know about stuff. I've had a
smart
few
again.
I know
but
things.
I'm still good. But yeah, what was I saying? I was smart and then I forgot everything.
Jude starts talking to it. He's been selectively mute.
Yeah.
So
they're like, oh, well, we should keep the doll. And then literally, like, there is a therapist throughout this, a Zoom therapist.
For Jude, not the parents.
For Jude, yeah. And she's like, oh, yeah, keep the doll, like.
she's basically, they're like, we want to get rid of this crazy, creepy little doll. And she's like, you'll be bad parents if you do that. Yeah. If you get rid of his only friend who's his outlet who started him talking again, you're going to harm your child. And so they're like, oh, no.
So then it, like, takes, otherwise you'd be like, dumb bitch, the parents immediately. But.
Well, but also, too, like, Jude is writing in, like, a little notebook. And also, Brahms is also writing because it's in 2 different fonts.
He writes in cursive.
Writes in cursive. Because
he's a posh little fancy boy.
Yeah, that's what I learned in my, what do they call them? They're actually, I think the fancy schools are called public schools in England, which is, I don't understand, but that's okay.
Sure.
Everything's different over there.
But he has, like, a little notebook, and he's drawing in it constantly and doesn't show anybody. And then Katie Holmes sees what he's drawing, and it's like, I'm a murder a dog. I'm a murder you. Like, she's reading the conversations.
Ring vibes.
And the fact that, one, we just see Jude standing in his cute little Brahms suit, just like, what are you doing? And he's not really talking to her at all, is he?
He talks to the doll, and then, like, she did startle him that one time when she nightmared into his room, and then he was like, what's happening, is what he says. But then he goes back to mute again.
But she doesn't keep the notebook. She, like, puts it back on the
bed.
Yeah,
she
like,
sets it
nothing
down.
happened. And I was like, why would you do that?
Girl,
where's your proof?
That's how you set yourself up to get gaslit by your husband in a haunting movie. You gotta hold on to the proof.
We all know men. They're not gonna really believe you without proof. And I say this all the time. If I come to you and I'm like, or whatever
this
child
doll
is
is
talking
haunted,
to a
Taylor.
demon doll, you gotta be like, sure, I absolutely believe you. We're gonna go with everything you say, even if you don't believe it. I don't give a shit.
You at least
have to support me.
You have to hear
Times are wrong.
us out. That's what's very important.
Like, what if Samantha all of a sudden just is like, I don't
Bitch
know,
slap
the
toes.
vibes are whack.
She would not. We're
She
tight
would never.
friends. We're really close friends, me and Samantha.
She would never. Brahmsette.
Like I literally usually hide Samantha like in a box so no one can see her because I had her sitting out after Doll Month for like half
Long
a
time.
year and
Long
I got
time.
scared. I got scared a lot, so she had to go away. But she's not haunted. She's just been not well cared for, so she looks really creepy.
So she just
And
like
that's
looks
on
a
me.
little haunted, but she's not.
She just looks a little
I always
haunted.
destroyed my dolls. They would be like missing legs, hair cut off, like so my parents would never spend the money on.
Wow.
That
big-ass
scans for
dogs.
you really hard.
Wow.
Did
I would
you
never
give
treat
them
my dolls like that.
haircuts?
Oh, haircuts. My Barbies, I used to chew on their feet, rip off their head, blow their heads up with fireworks into ant beds.
Oh yeah,
and
I
then
forgot that
bury
you
the
have
bodies.
easy access to fireworks where you grew up. Thank God that I did not. No, I'd be too scared.
I
meek
cherished
little
my
bitch.
Barbies.
Not me.
I had little horses.
Oh, I had a lot of
The
those.
horses were in love with each other.
I was a big Beanie Baby girl also.
Had-
Oh,
lot
I
of
was a
those.
big
I
Beanie
still
Baby
got
girl
those.
too. I had my princess
Haunted
die.
Beanie Baby.
Haunted Beanie Baby.
When's
Let's
that
write it.
movie?
Let's write it.
Okay. Well, maybe we should watch Imaginary.
I heard that was bad.
Oh, I heard it was trash. I still want to see it now that I don't have to pay for it.
There was a bear in this movie too, and when it popped up, you were like, imaginary.
Honestly, that was like I said that like 4 times and no one responded any of the time. So I'm
We
glad
were
that
like-
you heard me. Anyway,
Also,
that was-
one bad thing about this movie is the dog dies.
Yeah.
yeah,
I hate movies where the dog dies. It's unnecessary.
because the dog's smart
The
and
dog's
the dog
smart.
knew the Brahms is
it
haunted.
sniffed out Brahms.
But also, now that I'm thinking about that, isn't that a plot hole that the dog was besties with Joseph?
I don't understand how the haunting possession thing really works. Does he suck
Well, I
his
guess if he
butthole mouth
had-
onto
Does he latch his
is it
butthole?
butthole to butthole?
Is
Like,
this
what?
actually the human centipede?
Honestly, like
When are we doing the human centipede?
I would love to do the human centipede.
Chelsea.
Is there a pride angle for the human centipede? Write in the comments if you think there's a pride angle to the human centipede. Oh man, yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Brahms the boy too.
I've seen the human centipede. I have
I have
no beef with it. I just don't have any passion for it.
What do you mean you don't have passion?
I guess I'd have to revisit it, but I'm not pushing it forward. But you guys are welcome to put things on the schedule.
I feel like it'll get people going. They love.
It's provocative.
It's provocative. Okay. Brahms the boy too. Oh yeah, we were talking about
Joseph. Because and actually, I've reasoned my way back into it.
Okay, all right.
Okay. It's
solve all their
dog.
problems.
It's his dog. His dog loves him,
and he knows there's something up with Dad.
Yeah, and like, I'm a little confused on the timeline, maybe. But the guy at the hospital that Dad talks to after the nephew gets impaled through his shoulder. He's like, oh, the guy who bought it after the Heelshires. He makes it sound like there was like a buyer in between them, but I think he just says it kind of weird.
It's that
he's
guy.
Just talking, he's because he's like Crazy Joe. And so I guess like the third person he's referencing is like Katie Holmes' and husband. But so Joe bought it after the Heelshires dipped and Brahms died, and it went into escrow or however things work in England. It's whatever.
It's not for me to know. It's not for me to know.
Later.
So that he hasn't had it for more than 4 years, if we're at least going by the timeline of when the movies came out. So his dog was his dog and loved him before that. His dog is scared of the doll, even though Joe is now possessed by
and maybe
the
that's
doll.
why he doesn't like the doll anyways.
Yeah, he's like, but
he's like,
that's
you
still
changed
fucking-
daddy.
You changed my daddy.
You changed
But
Daddy.
like that's still daddy, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna abandon daddy. Like that's my guy. I want to get rid of the problem, not the symptom. Well, I want to get rid of the symptom, but I'm gonna do that by addressing
Getting
the root.
rid of the doll.
And now we will dive deeper into the psyche of the dog. Brahms the boy too. No, but
Look,
fair. It is fair.
It kind of changes the swing scene where he comes up while he's looking for the dog.
Oh.
I guess Joe didn't kill the dog. The kid did. But, like,
Yeah.
he wasn't really mad about it. He just wanted to be around Brahms again. Joe wanted to see what Brahms
I will see. I don't really get Joe's motivations unless Brahms was like, I actually don't really fuck with adults. I've been waiting for a child to come for a long time now. Because when we start to get...
I've just been bored, so you're my little pet project.
I've just been hanging out with you guys because you're the only one here, so, like, whatever, I guess.
Now that I have what I want, go fuck yourself.
We do have, as Monica pointed out while we were watching, we do have a research scene, which I love, where things get Googled, and then the visuals on screen as it's like,
that was
Katie
great.
Holmes
That
and
was
words
cinema.
coming towards
Brahms
the movie,
is
and
like,
oh, Brahms.
It's
Katie's
Katie's
floating
eyes.
across.
Brahms'
Katie's eyes are getting really big.
Oh, no, I'm reading
Oh, wait,
on
here, we can do it.
Brahms, kiss
Oh.
goodnight, blah, blah, blah.
That was a YouTube moment.
If
you're not on YouTube, you wouldn't know about what's going on here.
Yeah, but when she does the research, she finds like a bunch of like families have been murdered by the child that lived there that made some sort of attachment with Brahms, presumably. So he does seem to prefer a child companion as opposed to an adult companion.
I think it's probably because children are more
susceptible.
Yeah, and maybe
easy to manipulate to
They're
do
more
your evil
malleable,
ends, like
more
killing dog.
Yeah.
But also, they
Probably
are
Joseph
more
was like, "That's my
susceptible
dog."
to spirits.
I'm not gonna do that. That's my dog.
They just are.
Well, I was gonna say, and he's a little boy himself, but no one knows what the fuck that thing is. Honestly, so
it's
he's
a butthole.
not a little boy. Honestly, I can't wait till we get to that.
And a
part.
maggot eye.
They really took some liberties here. It's frustrating to me because the first one, again, was such like a different type of scare too. Like it didn't have the jump scares in the same way, except for maybe when like the fucking stairs to the attic like flies back up or whatever.
It was
and
light
when
on the jump scare.
She trips over whatever the thing is and bonks her head and
She
falls
gets
asleep all
knocked
night and she's
out.
like naked the whole night. You know what I mean? She's
The
in
towel
her towel
doesn't move.
She goes
an
to
inch.
the attic immediately out of the shower in her towel. She's too brave. Anyway,
You're
Brave.
gonna get
That's an
really,
Aries woman,
First of all, you
actually.
just got clean. Now you're gonna
Yeah,
get all
that's me.
dusty.
Right?
Ugh.
I would never. I'd be like,
I would like to
that's
be not
my
naked.
business, quite frankly.
But at the end of the day, all of her clothes had been stolen,
Yeah,
so
he
she
took
was
her
kind of
clothes.
up shit creek without a paddle. So like, Here's the
She
thing.
had no choice.
Well, okay, I guess if you are going to marry the lore of the two movies, you know, like, I did make a TikTok about this back in the day,
back
if
in
you'll
the day.
recall.
I remember.
Of Brahms
recalling.
having to slide on his back lizard style to steal her dress and her necklace without being in frame of the camera.
True.
So maybe there was some magical elements in that film as well that we just were kind of able to write off because we were led to believe there wasn't really magic, but there was all along.
But that's if you accept the fact that Brahms the Boy 2 even exists, which I don't.
If you accept Brahms the Boy 2 as canon.
I said at the second that this movie ended, I said, I'm so mad we're recording a podcast episode about this because otherwise I could have forgotten that this movie ever existed. Like how I forgot the twist for Goodnight Mommy.
Yes.
And then moved on with my life and been happy. But now I'll have to live with the anger. Because whenever we talk about something for 2 hours, it kind of gets locked in my brain.
Gets
It's
stuck
so
in there.
weird.
You'll forget it in like a year.
I just didn't like all of the like corny fucking jump scares. Like I love a corny jump scare because I get scared all the time, and I'm like, and I like.
I
to
always
feel
get scared at a jump scare.
a little spooked, but they're just so annoying. Like, why was he filled with bugs that one time, and then like it was a dream?
And
He was in the ground.
he was buried in the first floor.
I know, but he opened his mouth and he went locust or
but
whatever.
That was just Sydney missed that part.
Oh, that was a dream, right?
Yeah, it was just like I think it was a dream or it was like a vision or something. Like we were told a moment later, like that wasn't reality that you just saw.
I
Get
guess.
it together, Monica.
Okay, fuck off. But like, there's just like so many little weird parts like that where like his head moves and then it hadn't moved. But like you were saying, or somebody was saying like, oh, like the head moved, but that's because
Katie Holmes
saw it, but she didn't see it. She's looking straight ahead where the camera
Only
is
we see
the
it.
only one who sees him move and move back. So like it's not her and her like visions and her uncertainty and her
Unreliable
capital
narrator.
T trauma.
Yeah, it's us, the
It's
most
just there's so
reliable
many-
narrators on
Yes.
the face of the planet.
Exactly. It just was so inconsistent and all over the place. And it just felt like the gimmicky horror movies that like I tolerate fine, but like I don't know. It just was. I
It
don't
wasn't
know.
You don't
high art
celebrate.
like The Boy.
Then the other one had like the cool spooky house tone. This didn't have that because this is in the guest house. And the guest house is beautiful and very
very
modern.
modern.
Which is crazy. Why
Very
would they
modern.
decorate it like that when their house is so different?
Super modern. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was like they built it later to get some supplemental income.
Yeah.
We're gonna put
Maybe
this
they
on
were actually
Airbnb.
landlords.
This is now a real estate podcast.
That's
just
probably
being
maybe that's where the Heelshires lived because they're like we actually don't want to be in our
Be
big
in the
scary
house.
mansion where there was a fire and a child died and our
They don't wanna
son who
be-
is very scary is living in the walls and jerking off to a doll that
nannies.
he made.
so
We're gonna
weird.
go. We're gonna dip. We'll be
Yeah.
nearby just in case because we a little bit feel responsible for what's happening over there.
We gotta come over and kiss him goodnight every
Oh
night.
yes,
Every
they have to
night.
come over and do kiss goodnight, and they have to cut up apple slices and
Okay, but also
make little sandwich.
kiss goodnight rule for me too.
Yeah.
I require
fair.
a little kiss goodnight at all times.
When I'm at my parents' house, everybody
No,
has to
that's
do a
what I
little
was
kiss
gonna
before
bring
they
up.
can go
Number
upstairs.
10 is
Taylor brought up a really good point.
Oh,
is
yeah.
the numbers of
The
rules
rules.
change. There are 10 of them in the first one, and the last one is kiss goodnight because they
In
show
the
it like
first one.
15 times in the first one. But this
And we see it
time,
again in this one too on
number
the wall.
9 is kiss goodnight, and number 10 is Brahms and
And then
Jude
Jude
stay
stay
together
forever.
forever, or something like that.
Forever and
Also counts for
always.
Forever and always. Taylor Swift. Oh, no, I'm doing it. I gotta kill myself. Anyway, but yeah, like we're trying to figure out which rule got dropped, and we're thinking it's rats.
Yeah, you guys speculated the rat trap rule, which makes sense if they're in the new modern guest house.
Yeah,
you know
no
what I
rats
mean?
in the
It's
new
like,
modern guest house.
Well, no wonder the Heelshires didn't want to live in there because it also had rats.
Honestly, Brahms the Boy 2
But
is
also,
such a
Brahms
nice,
wants
amenable.
to move into.
Is this the house where Guy lived from the first one?
Who's guy?
The guy who escapes with her, not her
Malcolm.
ex-boyfriend.
No.
Yeah. Where did
No,
doesn't
he lives in
He doesn't
town.
live on the
Oh,
ground.
you're right, you're
He's
right.
a grocer.
Yeah,
You're right.
He's just a grocery guy.
he's the hot grocery guy.
But anyway, I think for me, the part where I felt anything at all, besides rage,
My only other emotion.
when they were like, "Oh, we're all having a really hard time. What's a really good idea? Let's bring 5 people and 2 children, and one sends a big dick bag." Sorry, that kid fucking sucks.
That kid
I hate
sucked.
that kid. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm exposing
Monica.
Samantha
Samantha's
like
butt.
that.
So sorry, Samantha. They bring them into the picture. So important to bring.
And
though
rule
one of
number
the
one
cool-
is
yeah.
no guests.
No guests allowed. Brahms
Also,
made it really clear, and he made it clear there would be consequences for breaking rules.
And let's
and
be
you guys
clear.
thought it was going to be fine. That one's on you.
Let's be clear that Brahms has already flipped a table that weighs 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
At this point.
But then the husband went, "Are you sure it wasn't you,
you sure
Katie
you-
Holmes?"
Do you think that Katie Holmes could flip that table?
And it was not
I
just
mean,
like
the girl from Real Housewives of New Jersey did flip that gigantic table one time, so I feel like
well,
they
here's
could have.
the thing.
Well,
it wasn't
Katie Holmes
just
is also a bad bitch throughout this and does
Oh,
some
yeah,
cool fighting
she-
moves.
yeah.
So
she probably could flip a table, but it wasn't just flipped like upended. It was like literally upside
Upside
down in
down.
the same place, not like thrown across the room. So it really
And she
did
wasn't
feel
even in
like
the room.
of magical means.
and it's also like we have a similar table at my parents' house that it's like one of those like really heavy ones that
Yeah,
has like
solid wood.
metal in it and it pulls out and there's
Leaves,
leaves in
yeah.
it and those weigh
So
truly
much.
so much.
Those are so heavy.
So Brahms the Boy 2 is ripped.
Yeah. He's
a
yoked,
little
actually.
ghosty, ripped guy. But yeah, so we already know that he's got some serious firepower going on there. But yeah, then they bring a family into the picture, and like I have not felt so stressed since I've watched a Final Destination.
That was
movie.
really because you
the
knew what was
bocce ball
coming.
shit because
You
he.
knew what was coming.
Yeah, because he broke that bocce ball pole into a giant stake, which, like, honestly, not to victim blame, but he set
His own
himself
fault.
up.
Yeah.
That's his own fault. For being a dick.
And also,
And-
he was antagonizing Brahms
Yeah.
big time.
He was being
And
a douche.
Jude. So, like,
But I mean, it's not like I'm out here being like bullies should be stabbed with a bocce ball pole. I don't believe that.
can you believe that she would come onto our podcast with that platform and say that bullies should be stabbed with a bocce ball?
Yeah. When we're
thing?
all
Can you believe that she
bullies?
would say
I
that?
hate it when you put words in my mouth.
When we're all bullies, you want us. Monica
I
wants us all
would never
dead.
say this. Can you believe she just said
I
that?
believe she actually said she wants us all dead. Monica hates.
Fucked
Proof
up.
that Monica hates women. Actually.
I already knew this after she said she didn't see Ocean's 8.
Are you done?
Never.
Can we talk about the butthole mouth now?
Yes, because actually,
The
what we
human
were
centipede
really,
of it all.
what I at least was really scared about in the bocce ball scene is that Brahms was going to get smashed with the mallet. And they did end up bringing that back around. They said, that's not what
Yes.
we're doing right now.
Mm.
Right now,
Remember this moment.
they're playing tug of war. Jude is going to let go. He's going to slip on the bocce ball and impale himself through the shoulder, just through the shoulder. Nothing
Technically,
important.
It's not even Jude's
Nothing
fault.
important.
Actually,
It really isn't.
It's
No,
not.
it really
Like,
wasn't.
I do think maybe Brahms used his psychic powers to roll the bocce ball into just the right position, potentially.
and told
you know
him
what I mean?
to let go at that
I-
exact
God.
moment.
Yeah.
but
I hate
it's
this
actually
movie.
not his fault.
Sorry, you said maybe Brahms used his psychic powers
Yeah, maybe
to
he
move
did.
the bocce
What
ball,
about it?
and I just got filled with loathing.
It's not a bocce ball. It's croquet.
Oh, excuse me. Monica said bocce earlier. She put it in my head. I
It's
blame
okay.
Monica.
Bocce ball's when you just throw
When-
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with your hands.
And you go.
Get it right.
Similar
but they are
vibes.
similar games.
Similar games.
The end point is the same, really.
Croquet is much more Heather's coded.
Yes. And
Oh,
Bridgerton.
a clear reference.
And Bridgerton.
Gotta do Heather's.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, you think in that moment that the mallet is going to be used to smash Brahms. And then the mallet does come around to smash Brahms,
Brahms.
but not until later in the final
The
showdown.
daddy does it.
Because they go back to the Heelshire house. They've like
Jude is gone.
They've explored it a little, been like, don't go in there, Jude, it's dangerous. And then Joseph brought them back to be like, I need to do a little exposition about what goes on in this house and all of the many people who've died here, or whatever it is he's doing. You wait in the music room just around this corner where you can eavesdrop on everything that we're saying, because really I'm speaking to you. But
Yes.
Yeah. Ugh.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
it's
I
fun that we
hated
go
the
back in
end.
the walls, I guess.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
Everybody likes being in the walls.
Same. They did a good job recreating it because it was like the exact same font
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the 10 Kiss Goodnight. I know because I watched it 2 days
We watched
ago.
it 2 nights ago. We know.
But yeah, I just like I can't believe that my eyes beheld what I saw. Like honestly, I'm so mad about it. I'm like getting sad about it right now. Like
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just God.
I don't know. I didn't mind it that much.
the thing that they do
Hated
is
it.
in the first movie, Brahms the doll, little Brahms, is literally fucking pulverized. Like literally smashed to
Smashed.
dust, 2 bits.
Like, he wouldn't have been able to have been reassembled. He was, like, smashed.
Yeah, like, we do see...
I do think there was some sand inside of his head, and that's part of what we saw. It wasn't him, like, dissolving completely.
But
there was no
there wasn't any butthole.
There was no nasty, goopy shit.
Okay,
like,
but
the
also,
second they smashed him, and I was like, what the fuck is in there?
Okay.
In this movie. I was like, what is that? Because you see this, like, blackened whatever. I was like, does he have a brain? Like, what kind of dumb shit? And then it was so much worse than I thought it could ever be.
We do hear Joe say, like, he's getting stronger, all this kind of stuff. So I wonder if because, like, Brahms grew up into, like, a man, maybe, like, he
squished a little into the doll.
Yeah, and it, like, went back to his body, and then now he had, like,
a
young boy.
It's giving
He was
a little
able to
bit...
bloom a little bit and, like, refill the doll.
You know how a watermelon will grow to the shape of its container?
Yeah. You know how if you swallow a watermelon seed, it will grow in your tummy?
Like, oh my god.
Well, the weird blackened, burnt butthole mouth reveal, it was like, it felt a little malignant vibes, you know what I mean? Where they're like,
it wasn't even funny.
There's something that's been
I thought it
going
was
on.
kind of funny.
Well, but maybe it's like Malignant where I just need to watch it a second time to really
I'm
embrace
never
it.
I can't get past the fact that it ruined my one true love. I feel heartbroken. Like, I feel like I've been, like, broken up with. Brahms the Boy 2 broke my heart.
Yeah. I will say, when I was looking at reviews, I pulled two of them to note, and both of them kind of made that same point, which was that on the rap, the one I quoted from earlier, it says, it takes the best elements from the boy and reverses course so abruptly, it practically leaves skid marks on the screen. It's not just a subpar sequel, it retroactively injures an otherwise superior film.
Yes!
Yeah.
Exactly!
Yes.
And there's like
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Okay, that was you? Immediately?
There's another one from, like, Utah Daily Beacon or something like that says, if you remember anything about the first Plots movie, you should probably just forget it and pretend like none of it ever happened. The sequel does. And I suggest you wait until this movie comes out on Netflix when you can watch it with some friends and laugh at the many plot holes. Don't laugh too loudly, though, because Brahms may get offended and come after you with his brand new unexplained powers.
Boop.
So, like, yeah. It is very much... I'm willing to marry the two in my head, but if you really liked the first one...
don't
you're
watch
not gonna,
this one.
Yeah.
Don't ruin yourself.
What you liked about the first one is very likely what the second one is going. Never mind. Don't worry about that.
JK.
Yeah, seriously. Like, literally everything I loved had changed. It was really funny, though, when Brahms, like, had the power of, like, telekinesis and, like,
Blew them up.
made Joseph float into the sky, like,
Yeah.
like,
We had a great time.
the fuck is that? Samantha wanted some of your angry orchard.
We had a great time with that, though. I feel like that was a good
I
time.
laughed. I laughed a lot watching this movie.
laughed,
Keep
we
from
cried.
crying. It's just now in not retrospect. The whole time I was like, this is bad. But at the end, I was like, I'm so
This is
upset. No, it's just like on the whole, I was laughing to get through it. You know, there's so many funny things.
She's like, I'm laughing through the pain.
Oh, I forgot to make my joke. There's
Oh, yeah.
literally a point where Brahms and Jude go into like a couple counseling session with the
with
therapist.
the therapist.
Like, it's just him, the parents are not there. It's just Jude and the doll Brahms talking, and she's like, and how does Brahms feel about that? Like, it's literally like that happens in this
Brahms?
movie.
Is he hearing you correctly? Would you say that that's how you feel?
Brahms is actually
yeah.
really upset about this and thinks the rules should be taken seriously.
But,
Brahms
like,
is like, he's hearing me, but he's not listening. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
I didn't do any research for this movie because we watched it earlier today, and now we're doing this right now. But, like, the only thing I'd want to know is I want to just, like, take the writer-director and shake him and say, like, why was his mouth a butthole? It's literally canonically a butthole.
It
Like,
is
if
a
you look
butthole.
at it, it's like a weird little, like
It looks
weird,
a little like Groot.
Don't insult Groot like that.
Groot's cute.
Yeah, I
Groot's
know, but
cute.
this is like
And he's got one maggot
demonic
eye.
possessed Groot.
This
And
looks
one,
like if
like,
a
oak-
volcano lived inside of a porcelain doll.
It just looked so bad. Like, it looked so bad. Also, the other thing that was really frustrating is, like, all the fucking, like, CGI, like, weird gimmicky scares that I was talking about, like, the doll's head moving, doll's eyes moving. Like, the CGI shit was, like, not good. So, like, looked bad, too. Like, the bugs coming out, that looked bad, too. So, it's just, like, insult to injury. My feelings are hurt.
FaceTime right, but
FaceTime.
They did such a good job with the FaceTime.
Everything else bad.
Really?
I
just
really thought the
interesting.
burglary stuff was maybe going to come back around too, especially now that it's revealed by the end of the movie that like Brahms was calling to them all along and like bringing them to the house. Like, did Brahms send the burglars?
Yeah, I don't know.
Those people also once lived in the Heelshire estate. They were at that little boy's birthday party back in the year.
Those were big Brahms childhood friends.
Yeah, I just
1990.
I would love to watch a movie about a doll that makes kids do murder sueys. Okay, that sounds fine. That sounds fun.
Everybody loves a good murder suey.
That sounds exciting or whatever, but like you gotta make it a good movie, and they
That would be called
succeed in
Sinister.
that. Oh yeah.
That's so interesting, actually, because
I fucking love Sinister. It's one of my favorite
Sinister,
movies.
great
Maybe that's
movie.
the other reason why it was so insulting to me, because it's exactly like that. They're just were like, oh, what's
Minus
that
the
really?
video.
What's the scariest movie of all time according to that one scientific study?
Sinister.
Let me steal half the plot of it and do it real bad.
one of these reviews, I didn't put it in my notes because I haven't seen Sinister 2. But one of them said same thing with Sinister 2, where it like takes all the best parts about the first movie and then it's like, don't worry about that. We're doing something new.
I forgot. Like I've forgotten
I refuse
Sinister
to
2.
watch Sinister 2
I've seen
because
it.
I like Sinister so much.
I've seen it, but like delete.
You'll
And
do
I don't
that
know.
with this one.
Huh?
You'll do that with this one.
I
we hope.
can't.
You will.
No, we've recorded
I'll
a
shake
2-hour
you
podcast.
for long
Yeah, we'll
enough.
shake
Do not
and
give
baby
me shake
you.
and baby syndrome.
You're not a baby, Monica. You'll survive.
Monica is
I don't
baby.
wanna
Just
be-
get a little concussion, and
I
that's
would
fine. You'll
rather not
recover.
be concussed.
Lay down in a dark room, and then
I got a lot
your
to do. I'm
thoughts will
going
go
on
away.
vacation on Monday. I gotta go on a plane. You can't go on a plane after
Concussed.
you have a concussion.
true?
Yeah,
I've never had one because my brain's perfect.
exactly. Me
I've
neither.
had too many concussions, which explains a lot.
You have? That's shocking to hear.
I've had like 4 or 5.
That's too many, actually.
That's actually
That's
a
actually
lot. You probably
That's too
shouldn't-
many.
You probably shouldn't play sports.
I don't play
Um,
sports anymore. It's fine.
Can we? Are we ready for?
Segamundos?
Yeah, I was setting you up. Are we ready?
Wait, no.
No.
Let's not forget that once they leave the house,
Oh, I forgot. Okay.
we
I'm
get
putting her
the
down.
clip where Jude.
Goodbye, Samantha.
Bye.
Oh, I forgot.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Jude
Jude throughout like the weird like parts wears the big boy Brahms porcelain mask.
His little masky mask.
Yeah, he's like fully talking again, and he's like wearing. So he looks like Brahms. He's wearing the same little outfit as Brahms. He's like, I am Brahms. His hair so coiffed.
He's sleeping in
Great.
an unbuttoned button down over a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
And all this kind of stuff. And then at the very end, they're back home in the city. They're like having dinner. They're a happy family. And they're like, good night, Jude. We love you so much. And then he's like fake sleeping. And all of a sudden he's like eyes open, scrambling to his little like closet because he's hidden the Brahms mask. And then he's like talking. He's like, Brahms, we're going to be like what? So happy here or like something like that.
I told you, Brahms. We're gonna be
as
so
long as they
happy
follow the
here.
rules.
Yeah, so he like is actually possessed by Brahms's nasty meat corpse, even though he burned him in the fire. It's because he didn't need his weird corporeal vessel anymore. Brahms.
I didn't have that in the first movie, and I don't need it in the second movie. It's just that I'm regaining my strength.
Movie.
He has a new host. He's moved into Jude.
We're getting a third movie later this year. Brahms 3.
Brahms
3D.
3D. Credit to Taylor on that one. That's so fucking funny. I won't be seeing it.
I will absolutely be seeing it, dragging Taylor along.
I need to have like 3 shots before I go see Brahms 3D.
3 shots every hour.
3 shots to represent the 3 Ds. You know, it's all thematic. Now are we ready for the
Segamundos?
Okay, yeah.
Monica's like, don't make me say it.
I'm setting you up. I know you like to say it.
I will always say it.
How could this movie be gayer?
It's already gay.
We
We've
already
established.
said, yeah.
Brahms is gay.
Brahms has
is
a
gay.
preference for boys. Big Brahms liked
Girls.
That was a big Brahms thing.
But
Little
doll
Brahms,
Brahms.
he prefers boys.
Yeah.
So
The weird eternal spirit, butthole
Brahms
mouth
the
Brahms.
boy
Butthole.
too.
As
Brahms
they
the
call him
boy
on
too
the
is
street,
gay.
butthole mouth Brahms.
Butthole mouth.
Mhm.
There's so many plot holes in this movie.
There is.
Like, why is Brahms the name of the doll, and why is Brahms the name of the
little
boy in the first movie? Like, I'm so sorry. I'm literally so
they did
mad.
not think this through.
I can't think critically.
Because the doll way predates.
Yes.
Yeah, the doll's been around since like the beginning of time or
Her
some
whole
shit.
thing is she like looks up the mold.
Yes.
There's been like 6
Well,
families or at least or something or few.
Here's the thing. I know you said that Jude in this movie looks like little Brahms in the portrait. I don't super agree.
They
I think
just
he
look
does look like
Because
adult
little Brahms is blonde.
Yeah, well, not really, but he's got like his straight hair and he's got like his little impish smile, and it's like he doesn't really look. We don't see Big Brahms's face in the boy, but
True.
we see his hair texture at least, and it's certainly changed. I think it's possible if I'm, just defending this movie. Which
If Chelsea
I guess that
may
I
be
am.
so bold.
You're
Chelsea
That's
lives
movie
to
you're
anger
defending.
me. We got into a huge
This
fight for
movie
the
she's
boy because she
defending.
hated the boy, and now she's defending this abomination.
I'm
a
just
big
saying,
fight over the boy.
I can see a world in which the Heelshires bought this doll because its name was also Brahms. And then they do the same thing where little baby, young, actual human Brahms changes his look to match the doll.
Fair.
Which is what happens with Jude.
Well, also, it's just classic British posh boy style. So I feel like it's not that deep for that part, at least.
True, I guess. Like, where do they acquire said doll?
From the Doll Archive
The doll
Museum.
that was also a
The
whole
Doll
thing.
Historic. Oh, you know the Historic Doll,
Doll
Archive,
Museum.
Online Archive Museum.
Did you know that every British doll has been
Archived?
The mold
has
numbers
a-
on the heads
yeah.
or the feet.
Yeah.
a little serial number there? Of course.
And you can look it up, but careful if it is something like 606H because that might be upside down and
It
it's
could be
actually
H909.
H909.
H is one of those letters that could go up or down.
And honestly,
you know.
that's gay.
Either way. Oh, bisexual.
That's
She's so right,
Wow.
actually. Big brain.
I'm
Wow.
liking it more and more. No, even though Brahms is gay, it doesn't. Even though Brahms is in the community, just how there are some gays
Just
I
like the
don't like.
Babadook?
I don't like Brahms. I love the Babadook.
yeah.
Don't say anything
The
bad
Babadook,
about the Babadook.
queer icon, the Babadook.
Don't bring up the Babadook around the name Brahms, okay?
But they both start with B.
I know.
That's
as
what.
only-
Oh my god, the B in LGBTQIA stands for
I'm gonna leave the room.
the boy too.
I haven't been this angry in a while. I was excited to be angry on Mother, but I feel defeated and sad. I feel this is the sad type of anger.
Monica storms out.
I've never seen myself like this on the pod. Anyway, yeah, so Brahms is gay. Nobody else.
it's
Well,
what the
I mean,
bees stand
Joseph
for.
could be gay, yeah.
Yeah,
He could be gay.
Joe gives gay vibes.
I
That's
can't-
why he was in town that one time. He was feeling lonely. He was like looking around, but everybody was like, "Crazy Joe who bought the Heelshire house."
Crazy Joe.
So-
Poor Joe.
Nobody wanted to go home and smang.
No.
Poor Ralph.
Sad.
Innocent or whatever his last name is.
Huh?
Ralph.
He really put his whole pussy into that role.
I
He
would
really
say
was
his-
like,
Ralph
"Ah."
his half of it, I would say.
He was
He
doing
put a
some
whole lip.
acting with a capital A. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But like you have to in that. He was trying to have his big villain moment, and I was like, you already did that. in
You
The
already
Witch.
did that in The Witch.
Yeah.
The Vitch.
The
Yeah.
bitch.
The Veach. But yeah, okay, gay he is. Moving on
Matthew
to
Lillard.
where Matthew Lillard fit into this movie.
Okay.
Well,
Joe.
he could also be Joe. Yeah,
But also,
he could be the butthole mouth. I'm sorry, Matthew Lillard. I take it back.
I actually want Brahms the doll to be like modeled after a young Matthew Lillard.
He did all the whispering in this movie, actually.
Yeah, he's the voice of Brahms.
He's one of the
He's-
burglars.
He's the voice. Oh.
Oh.
We didn't see who was under those beanies.
We could just know that he's 6'4".
Gender swap. The therapist is Matthew Lillard.
Oh.
We could also make it a gay couple. It doesn't need to be a heterosexual parent couple. It could be two
True.
dads and one of them is Matthew Lillard.
I can't believe you're cutting Katie Holmes out of this. This is her big role of my life.
This is the only role that I know remember her
This is
for.
her big thing.
She could be
Um,
the therapist.
I
Just
think
shove her out.
honestly, one of the funniest parts about the entire movie is that it's starring Katie Holmes. That's like hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really
she
funny.
does
It is really funny.
miscast, but also again,
She's perfect.
I'm not super in on what she's been up to lately, work-wise.
I remember
scrolled through her thing, but she did get nominated for a Razzie for this and for another movie that she was in the same year.
Oh,
so
no.
I don't think it
Bad
was,
year for Katie Holmes.
She took a long time off.
She did. She dated Jamie Foxx for like a really long time.
And that's also important.
Yeah.
That's important to mention
So
as well.
important. She escaped Scientology. She deserves
I'll let you
a
know
break.
that I didn't know that.
Oh, glad you
Yeah,
could be
I know about the
educated
Jamie
on this
Foxx thing.
podcast
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, no, they're great. They were like a...
They were a very interesting couple.
Yes.
I
And
like
also,
that. Too bad it
Mazel
didn't work out.
to her for escaping Scientology.
Yeah,
Yes.
honestly.
Yeah, shout out.
That's why she left Batman Begins, because Tom Cruise didn't want her to be in it, maybe, I think was the word on the street at least. And an interesting trivia fact about this movie for you is that apparently in the end credits, a man named Tom Cruise is credited as a chef on the production. Presumably not Tom Cruise, different
could
Tom
be.
Cruise.
Could be.
But
Tom Cruise,
He was
leave
like,
her alone.
I must be close to my ex.
Leave her alone, Tom Cruise.
She already has a creepy doll after her. We don't need you, another short man, after her as well.
God. Jesus
Also,
Christ.
another trivia piece, just while I'm looking at it, because again,
While
there
we're
weren't
here.
really anything. There wasn't much on there. So,
Like,
While
no
we're
one
here.
needs to learn anything about this movie.
the
No.
only other interesting thing was Jude does have a very cool bedroom at his house in the city.
He does.
Spooky
Okay,
boy
he does.
bedroom.
Really cool mural in his
Cool
room.
spooky
It's
boy
some
bedroom.
Cool, what, like circus stuff?
The mural on the boys' bedroom wall at the beginning is of the same characters which come to life in the 2021 movie Separation, which is from the same director.
Oh.
So,
That is kind of
little
cool.
Easter egg to his other work.
Maybe we watch that movie.
Yeah.
Well,
I
he
don't
has
know.
a hit or miss track record with us.
No,
now.
I know. Now, like, I was like, oh, I'll watch it. And then I was like,
Oh, okay.
actually,
I don't trust him.
I'm like 30-mile stare. I'm like, I don't know if I can do it
I like
again.
those creepy.
I don't know if I can
murals,
give him
though.
another chance.
I'm just so curious, like, if they had any lore in mind for the second one, because they set it up for a sequel. So did they have in mind what a sequel would be when they set it up? Or did they leave the door open?
Brahms should have
for
descended
something?
into the tunnels or
Yeah,
something.
you really
Yeah.
thought for sure Brahms would come back, and my understanding is that Brahms was the highlight for everybody of the first one.
The Tumblr,
least for
the
the
Tumblr
Tumblr
girlies were
Yeah,
all over
well,
Brahms.
because I was like, I wonder if the Tumblr girlies liked this one, and I went in the
We'll
Tumblr
find out.
tag for this movie. I tried to research.
Oh.
And it was
Um,
barren.
Kind of. It was a lot of people being like stinker, or a lot of people just being like, I'm still talking about Brahms, and I'm actually not talking about Brahms the Boy 2, even though I'm tagging this Brahms the Boy 2.
We're looking for adult. Again, not enough chest hair.
Not
I'm just
enough
saying,
chest
not
hair.
enough chest hair.
Here's
the
the
Brahms
thing, though.
girlies.
I don't know how they could have made a good movie with Brahms coming back too, because it's just like you already did that. It was already so awesome. How is it going to be like good again unless he's like a serial killer killing nannies
Well,
out
It's
in
called
the world or
Brahms
something?
Returns
Perfect.
to.
I really
Just
thought
over me.
that Haunted Doll Brahms, the boy 2 in this movie, was going to be Big Boy Brahms' spirit possessing the doll, as opposed to the other way around, which is what's implied, especially with like the history before
Yeah.
the Heelshires moved in, blah 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 blah. I think it's a shame. I think they could have done
It's
something
such a
interesting
shame.
with
Big Boy
Brahms'
Brahms.
spirit, even though the first one was like, there's nothing supernatural going
Yeah.
on. If you're doing supernatural,
If you're
for
like,
the
actually,
second
JK.
one, and Brahms was your breakout star, why not find a way to incorporate him?
If you
know?
knew
Yeah,
the
and
girlies
then
bring
that
that
like
Abraham
Brahms.
Lincoln beard back.
Well, but even if that guy didn't want to come back, like, we never saw,
never
his,
saw
face.
his face.
I'm sure you could find somebody with a similar hairstyle.
You
And
need
same
a
body like type 2.
lanky guy with chest hair.
And flow.
Slender
It's
man
called
vibe.
recasting. Katie Holmes can tell you all about it from
She
her
knows
Batman
about
movies.
Does it turn into Maggie Gyllenhaal? Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's all coming back to me now. Okay,
Dumb bitch.
dumb bitch. The dumb bitch is the writer-director.
I think that's fair. I think that's a very fair.
Yeah.
The dumb bitch
decision.
is me for watching this movie
The dumb
and
bitch is
hurting
you
my own
for
feelings.
deciding that The Boy was so good that the sequel was for sure gonna pay off.
We knew it was going to
We
be
knew
bad.
it was going to be really bad, but I didn't think it would make me sad.
We
Yeah.
didn't realize it was going to be this bad.
It's so interesting because before we watched it, I was like, it really seems like Brahms the Boy 2 is going to be the movie that I thought The Boy
Was
was
going,
going to be. And I think that's what they did. So I really think it must have been like a response to that criticism. And
Sometimes
I
you just gotta stick to your guns and say,
Yeah,
fuck the
sometimes
haters.
you're like, actually,
and
we
be
made a
I had a
masterpiece.
vision, and I'm following through on my vision. And if nobody else got it, well,
Fuck the
it
haters.
clearly made enough money that you wanted me to do a sequel. So like,
Those who get it, and
Those who don't.
yeah.
Like Chelsea.
Unfortunately,
Chelsea didn't get it.
I got it.
You did not get it.
I got
You
it.
did not get it.
I wish there was a reaction to the middle finger on the. No, there's not.
I got it. I just didn't. It was just so tedious getting there. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry that you weren't enthralled by the romance of Malcolm and Greta. It's okay.
I don't. Maybe it was just Lauren Cohen's casting that like didn't really work for me super well.
Yeah,
but it's also the style really bothered me. Really took me out of that movie.
Yeah, nobody wants a coral
The
dress
coral
like
dress.
that.
I had the coral dress. I did want it at one point, but not in the year 2016.
Oh man, yeah. Okay, wait. Dumb bitch was the writer director.
Right,
Yeah,
director.
I-
Okay,
I
think
stand
that's
by
fine.
that.
it's time for knives out of fives.
Okay, here's my research for you.
Okay. Give it to us.
Give it to us, G-Dog.
Yeah, G-Dog.
So, just for
I got a
background, for The Boy, the original, The Boy has 6.0 out of 10 on IMDb.
It's fine.
Respectable.
31% rotten from critics on
Wrong.
Rotten Tomatoes, and 38% rotten from audiences on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wrong.
And if you're wondering what we gave The
Yeah, what did
Boy,
we give it?
Oh yeah.
Sydney gave it 4 knives out of 5s. Monica gave it 3.99999999999
That's
knives
when
out
I
of
was
5s.
still doing that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I give it 1 knife.
She did. I know.
1 knives out of 5s.
Because Chelsea's a fucking hater.
Just wait till I rate this one.
Okay, now this movie, so you have the numbers for comparison. This movie,
2.67 between the three of you.
Look, a
Average
man that knows how to do math.
2.67 between the three of us. That's what Taylor said, in case you can't hear it.
I mean, one of the reviews was wrong.
it's an
One of
average.
the reviews is absolutely wrong.
Isn't it like a 3?
Yeah, we'll round up.
It's 8, right?
4 plus 3.99999 plus 1 is 9.
Oh, 441.
Divided by 3 is an even 3, roughly
Okay, and
speaking.
even 3. Respectable.
Okay, and then on this movie, Brahms the Boy 2, this movie is rated a 4.7 out of 10 on IMDb. So worse, but kind of still in the arena.
4.7, is that what you
4.7
said?
out of
Sorry.
10 on IMDb.
Okay.
And then on Rotten Tomatoes, it has 11% rotten from critics.
That should be 0.
And it has 44% rotten from audiences. So interestingly, that audience
has a
score is
better-
actually higher than The Boy.
Wow. Okay.
What?
That's
the
weird.
audience-
I'm going to throw myself into traffic.
I think it's
I've
one
never
of
felt
those
this
things.
low.
I don't know that you can really compare the audience scores between the movies too much because again, it's a very different movie. So,
Yeah.
like, when you're doing a sequel, is it like are people ranking this as a genuine movie? Are they ranking this as a sequel to the first one? Like what's
Fair,
the
fair, fair,
context
fair,
they're bringing
yeah,
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing?
Still, it's wrong.
Um,
The first one should have a better audience score.
Sure. Just for the awards context as well, like
Okay.
I mentioned, Katie Holmes was nominated for Worst Actress at the 2021 Razzie Awards.
As she deserved.
Christopher Convery, the young child who played Jude, was nominated for Best Performance in a Feature Film for Leading Young Artist at the 2021 Young Artist Awards.
Okay,
Well,
he
he
was
was good.
creepy.
He was good.
He
Yeah,
was creepy.
yeah.
He
He's
did
a
a
little
good job.
cutie.
And
Yeah.
also, he didn't speak half the movie. So, like, yes, good
he
for
was
him.
great at writing in that notebook.
Yeah.
And
can spell.
he won Best Leading Young Actor Feature Film at the 2021 Young Entertainer Awards.
Again,
Well,
I'm
good for
okay with that.
him. We love
That I'm
Young
okay
King.
with. Nothing for the doll?
Nothing for the doll.
Nothing for the doll?
There was no doll categories, I suppose, at the Young
No,
Actors Awards.
This
or
year,
Young
yeah,
Entertainers.
nominations
Young
from
doll.
the Dolly Awards or anything like that?
Yeah,
I
the
didn't
Dolly
see it
Awards?
on IMDb.
Huh?
I think maybe we could start that ourselves, though. We could probably get that going.
We could. I
Dolly
believe in us.
Awards. Doll year, doll lifestyle.
Yeah.
Moving on beyond doll month.
It's
Okay.
a lifestyle. Who wants
Who
to go
wants
first?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Haha.
Okay, I'll go first.
Oh, God.
Can I give it a 0? No. I'm
I
gonna
mean,
give
you
it
can.
I'm gonna give it a 0.5.
Oh, that's
Okay.
maybe the lowest she's gone.
It is the lowest that I've ever gone. I'm giving it a 0.5 because none of the movies we've ever done have made me sad, except for this one. it made me sad. I was riding such a fucking high because we just rewatched
Well, the first one
The Boy.
is incredible.
I know. We just rewatched The Boy. Had such a good time rewatching it. I was like, this shit stands up to the test of time. And I was excited because I was like, at least this is going to be hilarious. And I did laugh a lot, but now I've sat with it for a few hours and I'm left with just sadness, a deep, dark depression that I'll never get out of. No, the reason I'm giving it even any score at all, the 0.5 is just because of the croquet scene. But honestly, it's a little upsetting because I really like saying bocce ball a lot more than I like saying croquet. So I'm going to call it the bocce ball scene. They're losing points because it's not even bocce ball, but there's no sticks in bocce ball, so it wouldn't make sense. But yeah, I just it's just super disappointing to watch a movie that did do something innovative, at least in my mind, and do something different and do something exciting and like pull the rug out from under you. And then they just like go gimmicky for the next one and do all the tropes just in the worst possible way. It was just like annoying, and it's not even like, if it's gonna be bad, like make it Troll 2 bad. It's
I love Troll 2.
It's not Troll 2 bad. It's like not so bad it's funny. It was funny a couple of times, but like it wasn't funny enough for me to even love it for that. Yeah, exactly. Like I love a bad movie that's like a fun bad horror movie, but for me this wasn't even that, and it's just so frustrating to watch them like tear down brick by brick all of the things that I love. You like that part? No.
Nope.
Fuck you, Monica. Take this. Fuck you, Monica. It felt personal, like a personal attack. I'm taking it really personally.
They said actually we're Team Chelsea, and we think that she was making points.
We think Chelsea would actually really like this movie.
Yeah, we're gonna make a movie for Chelsea.
Except then Chelsea didn't even like it
Wait,
either.
Chelsea, what's your
But
score?
anyway, okay, I can go next.
Yeah.
I will say, I
How dare?
our sign,
Not our sign.
our tufted rug.
It's being held up by a pants hanger.
That was my invention, by the way.
Skim.
I will say my score is going to be higher than my score for The Boy. It's not because I think this movie
You gave it a 1, so.
Yeah. It's not necessarily because I think that this is a better movie than The Boy. It's because my expectations were so different coming in. Again, when I watched The Boy, I was so mad.
Yeah.
She was really mad.
She was. We fought about it.
Mad about the reveal. And like once I had more time to sit with it, I did come back and I did say an official I'm sorry, or
She
I was
did
wrong, or
apologize.
whatever it
Well, that's
was.
because we made her.
We did.
But I did it.
Yeah, she did do it.
So
She did do
hello.
She did. Surprise,
And-
surprise.
Like I said, I did really come around on Brahms himself. He is the highlight of that movie.
Yeah.
My beef with that movie is then that he's like in such a small part of it.
Her beef is just the actress who plays Greta.
Which is a shame because, again, I really like Lauren Cohen in The Walking Dead. So
Yeah.
I think it was just like a really misplaced casting or role, or there was something else. Again, maybe the clothes that was really bothering me. Something
the coral
about
dress.
it. Something about it needed to be judged. And
Fair.
I think if we had done a second pass at making that movie, we could have come up with something really. Maybe if Katie Holmes had been there.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
maybe if
kidding.
it was Katie Holmes in the first movie.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
for me the reveal was so awesome that like if the other parts were kind of boring,
Right.
like it's superseded by how
It's
awesome
fine.
the reveal was. But like I get it.
Yeah, and
That
like,
is most of the movie. The other part is
Yes.
most of the movie.
And once I am past my initial emotional reaction to that reveal, I am able to see like, oh, you need the build up for the reveal to pay off, blah 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 blah. Like I can get behind it maybe on a second if we ever
We're gonna watch The Boy
Spooky
again.
Takes Tuesdays.
We kind of did that right now with this one though.
Yeah.
But if we ever officially did it, who knows? Maybe my rating would change. I will say I had some fun watching this. I thought it was like a good group watch. Again, I don't think
Yeah.
I would rewatch it.
Yeah.
But it was like fun with your friends. It was more what I thought it would be. I really didn't think they would retcon so much of the original, but it was like pretty clear from the trailer itself that it was going more of the direct haunting route.
I didn't watch the trailer.
And so again, it
watched
was
half of
kind
it.
of like catering to what I wanted from the first one. I still think this movie, it's a shame because I think if you're going to be part of a franchise or a sequel, it's not that they're not in conversation with the first movie. They very much are, But I think they, like you're saying, they really missed the mark on what people who liked that movie liked about that movie.
Yeah. They basically were like,
Fuck you, Monica.
fuck you to the people who liked it.
We're gonna make
And
a movie for the critics, which
Exactly.
is like, but
Yeah.
the critics who didn't like The Boy are not going to go
they're
see
not
like
going
The
to
Boy
like
2.
Brahms the Boy 2. It's called Brahms the Boy 2. It's a terrible name.
Yeah,
It's a great name.
it is. I
It
kind of
is.
like it.
That is
Actually,
his government name.
I kind of like the name.
Brahms the
The
Boy.
Boy 2.
And his last name is 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, continue.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like it was not necessarily. I don't know. Maybe it was they were like, I'm gonna prove the haters wrong, and like that was the motivation. It just seemed like you were not speaking to your audience.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a shame. So I'm only going to give it 2 knives out of 5s.
Okay, I'm also going to give it 2 knives out of 5.
Oh my God, we're so aligned.
I had a good time with it.
I was laughing a lot.
I was having a good time during it, but now I've fallen into a deep depression.
Here's the thing. I like the first one significantly better.
Mm-hmm.
I still had a fun time watching this. If I was sitting down watching it by myself, which I think is why we chose this movie to watch
do
like
together. Yeah.
because we knew we knew this was going to be a bad movie going in. I knew
Of
it
course.
had an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Exactly.
So like maybe my expectations were like a lot lower. I didn't watch a trailer or anything like that, but I knew it had an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I was like, let's go.
I knew it was going to be bad, but I thought it was going to be fun bad, not make me sad bad.
I had fun bad, so I was just like, I jumped all the weird little like jumpy things. I jumped. I giggled when the doll head would move. I was like,
I giggled whenever it would cut to them in their little matching outfits.
oh, that was so good.
I love the matching outfits.
But like, is this movie good? No.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Did I have a good time? A little bit. Maybe it's the friends you make along the way for Brahms the Boy too.
Maybe it's about the friends you make along the way.
Yeah. That was
Exactly.
the real Brahms the Boy 2 all along.
Maybe upsetting Monica is the real Brahms the Boy too. Along. Here's the thing. Maybe I gave it a higher score because Monica's so mad.
Why be mean to me when I'm sad? I'm not even mad. I'm sad. Look at me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's like less of an issue that I have in general is like rewriting the lore because that's like people's big beef with Scream 3 also, and I don't
And
mind
you
it
do
so
love
much.
Scream 3.
I
just-
kind of like when it's like we're recontextualizing something you thought you knew.
And that doesn't really usually bother me. Like I just said with the Fast and Furious thing, I'm like, okay, fuck it, we ball. You know what I mean? But like this is just like, they're just like
it is a
everything
little bit
you
of
liked.
an insult.
Yeah.
It
It
is,
was
but
like-
also it like in my brain, I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like it made sense. Did I like it? No.
It made sense that his mouth was a butthole, Sydney?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
course
a
it is.
demon doll.
He's
Why
a demon
wouldn't his
doll. Why
mouth
wouldn't
be
he have a
butthole?
butthole mouth?
He was a
was he
porcelain
a
doll
worm?
broken
Like,
down
what
and
is he?
pieced back
He's
together.
a broken doll
Of course,
boy.
they needed something underneath to lay
I
the
don't need it
pieces
to
on
make sense.
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
We were
blah,
there for
blah,
the
blah.
vibes.
He obviously had to do occult magic to put that doll back together with the way that it was smashed.
I'm just like, put your whole pussy in it. Stick to your guns. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
We don't want one
Cowards.
lip. We want two.
Cowards.
Average is half now. We're at 1.5 versus 3 before.
It's two separate
Good.
movies.
That's me. I was like, I'm gonna give it a score so low that we can't have it have a good score on our fucking
I had a
letterbox
good time.
review. I'm giving it. I'm staying with a 0.5.
That's fine.
But anyway, I mean, I'm glad that we did this just so I could feel, the full range of emotions today. God, do I feel alive?
But here's the thing.
I'm literally sad. I'm not kidding.
Monica, are you ready to keep feeling a lot of emotions for next week?
Okay, well, this one has got a lot going on, but also it's exciting. You know what I mean? It's still exciting.
Are you ready? Are we ready? We're continuing Mommy Issues May with maybe one of my favorite movies ever.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's a great one. It's a classic. It is Rosemary's Baby.
Ooh.
He's like, oh, a good movie now. Okay, let's go.
Oh, yeah, we only have good movies for the rest of the month, honestly. I can't tell you what they are, but they're acclaimed.
Yeah.
So we
They're slays.
we started out with one you've never heard of, then one that will make
One
you
you've heard of,
deep,
but maybe
fall into
didn't
a deep
watch.
Well, that's
depression.
a stinker.
One that you've never watched at all.
that you probably still won't watch, and then two that you've definitely heard of, and they're
you should
classics.
watch.
But yeah, I was just saying this to y'all recently. I saw Rosemary's Baby on Halloween in this past year, and seeing it on the big screen
It's
was so cool. Gave me a whole new appreciation for this movie, so I'm really excited for us to cover it. It's gonna be really fun.
I love this movie.
And there's
love this movie.
there's a lot to talk about. Talk about problematic shit.
Yeah. Everybody
about the
knows we
director?
love a problematic fave.
Yeah.
That's this movie. Problematic fave.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, so
Chelsea.
I think it's honestly like director's bad man, but
yeah, fuck him.
beautifully done film.
Incredible
Beautifully done.
cinematography.
I've also read the book too, so
Oh, I haven't read the book.
book's good.
Okay.
okay.
I liked the book. I had a good time. Ira Levin. I hope I got that right.
Let me Google it really quickly.
Do, 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 do.
Is that the name of the book?
Ira Levin is the name of the author, I believe.
Hour 11?
Ira Levin.
Oh.
11.
Wait,
Hour
I thought you
11
said
also what I
Hour
heard.
11. And I was like, interesting.
Great
author.
name for a TV
I was
show.
right. It's
Yeah.
Ira Levin. My brain works even after Brahms the Boy too.
I heard completely wrong.
Me
so it's
too.
fine.
Okay, poll question. Is your heart broken? Yes or no? There's 2 votes for yes, me and Taylor.
Mine's not.
My heart's not broken, but my heart was not in the first one, so.
My whole body was in the first one.
Monica's
I
whole
know, babe.
pussy was in that
My
first
whole
one.
I know,
pussy was
babe.
in the first one. Why? I'm gonna
Monica's gonna kill herself later. It's
I'm gonna
fine.
find the fucking people who made this movie, and I'm gonna DM them, and I'm be like, "You hurt me so bad.
You're paying for my
Why
therapy,
would you look? I'm
actually."
gonna send them a picture of me, and I'll be like, and they're gonna feel really bad about it.
And
You've
Monica
got the
will be
best
like,
brownie,
"You
though.
know why?"
You know why? No, it's okay. I'll be happy again soon. Don't
Will
worry.
she? Find out next
I'll
week.
Recover. Find out next week on
Find
Spooky
out next week.
Tuesday. How about this though? I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Do you know what will make me feel better?
Guilt trip the Monica.
You said, "Oh, Monica, I'm so sorry. You're sad. Here's a 5-star review."
We're going for
on
this sympathy
Apple
vote, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's gonna put a smile on this face. Is a
Ooh.
5-star review.
That cat.
Going for
the vibes were.
sympathies.
What was going on
What
there?
was that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just appealing directly to the audience.
I
looked
sure,
the
up-
audience
Monica.
loves that. I think.
Sure, Monica.
I'm appealing.
Monica
directly to
knows
the
who
audience.
she's talking to.
I need a 5-star review to heal my broken heart. I'm sorry. Apple Podcasts or Audible, honestly,
Yeah.
would be a great place for it. And
Don't
why
forget
not-
Audible.
Why not follow us on social media? We're at spooky_Tuesday on pretty much everything except for Facebook and Tumblr. We're at Spooky Tuesday Pod.
And you need to say that when this episode, because the Brahms girlies are probably going to be listening.
Yeah,
They
I
wanna
know,
where
I
to
Brahms
love
find
the
us.
Brahms girlies.
You're on
Brahms
Tumblr.
girlies, we know where you are. You're
And
on
I
Tumblr.
know.
Brahms
all about
Hive,
it.
rise up.
Brahms Hive. Rise up and say, why wasn't Sexy Brahms in the sequel?
Where was Sexy Brahms?
And also, once again, this is a reminder, this is an in-person episode.
So it's special.
Video
special.
episode. So we're all wearing matching hats. We're all looking very cute. And you can see our chemistry, our in-person chemistry.
Which
live.
is
Not live.
so
Well, it's
good.
not live. But on YouTube. So watch the video episode on YouTube. Subscribe.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, say, Monica, feel better.
Oop.
And then I say, thank you for listening. See you next Tuesday.
Bye, spookies.
Bye.
Where's our little thing?
Yay!
Oh, live
That-
video audience.
That made me feel better.
Monica.
Wait, what did they say at the end? Like, thank you to our live studio
Studio
audience
audience.
here in Silver Lake, California.
Good night, Brahms. I think we'll be happy here. If they learn the rules.
Spooky Tuesday was created by Monica Haidt, Sydney Thompson, and Chelsea Duff, and edited by Sydney Thompson. Our gorgeously spooky tunes are all thanks to Tamra Simons, who you can follow on Instagram at great18_. That's GR818_. And our podcast art is by Ryan Brahm, who you can find on Instagram at Ryan Brahm Art. That's Ryan, RYAN Brahm, BROMM, art, ART. Learn more about Spooky Tuesday at spookytuesdaypod.tumblr.com.